Bing.com. I don't know. Airplanes, right? Just going to put this in bits and bytes. Instead of, it'll be a little bit more relaxed for this video, and I know I got 2 views or something like that so far. So thank you for actually being open to the information, because it is seriously that important. It really is. One change of a number, just like a code, when you're coding something, a program within aviation, it means the difference between a pass and a fail, right? The tolerances are down to the thousandth, okay? So 3 decimal places in a lot of cases. It's and then Cletus, I know you've dealt with gearboxes and stuff like that, and my reference will be to gears and gasoline, and the lashing and the setback or whatever it is, in order to set up a differential correctly, so that the gears don't grind themselves to dust. And you don't want that with an aircraft that's been sitting for 6 years and has a question. I'm just going to assume that you don't have all the information. That has a questionable service record, and has changed registration multiple times. And if it comes from South America, there's always the risk of especially a very cheap aircraft. Always the deal's always too good to be true. And I know a lot of YouTubers do this. Say like Tyler Hoover buys, and then McTavish, they buy these heaps, right? And the same with Ed. Ed buys a little bit higher class heaps, with questionable histories, and then they make them into something better, before they sell it again. But cars and trucks are not aircraft. They are not heavy equipment. They are extremely sensitive, even though when you work on them, there is some plasticity, and some forgiveness, but not a lot. You really can't fuck around with this stuff. If you don't have the right people around you to look after this stuff, it will lead to injury or death. It will. 100% certain of it. If not now, then many years down the road. And this is a problem with deference, and this happens with low cost operations all the time. And this is actually the shit that put Air Georgian underground. The same with Piedmont Airlines, is that they kept deferring and overworking the aircraft, because the technicians were overburdened, right? They were burnt out, and there's too many ethnic groups and religious groups fighting with each other, passive aggressively, quite frankly, within the past 20 years, especially because 9/11 is real. It's real, okay? The stuff that happened afterwards, I'm not going to talk about, because this is about aircraft. It's not about the history of propaganda. But I have some that to give you some weight, all right, as to say my authority, right? I have a lot of books here, including this one, which is The Wings on My Sleeve. So Eric Winkle Brown, this guy, in an era of outstanding pilots, Winkle was simply the best. Bill Humble, chief test pilot of Hawker Aircraft. So Hawker Siddeley in England. How you doing, mate? Oh, I'm just going to pop into the shop. Will you mind me helicopter when I'm away? Oh, yeah, no problem. You got anything special in there? Oh, just a bit of dram. and okay, so I'm gonna again, the problems that we're facing right now is very much a secret war. It's a distributed network of stupidity, whereas central intelligence. So when I'm talking about what I'm talking about, I reference every single piece of information that I can to other people's work. And that's what a historian does. That's what an engineer does. That's what a scientist does. That's what any reasonable intellectual does. And so, I have, these are some of the books that I've based the history of propaganda off. One of them being, of course, Body Dressing Here. So it's about fashion and changing your body to fit the clothing and so on and so forth, and the fashions of the time. My Life, My Art by Paul Duff. This is his autobiography, and he talks about how he had to go to South America. And The Eternal Apprentice, I believe, it was part of the reading material here. That was taught at OCAD, so the Ontario College of Art and Design. Okay, and so this has very much seniors enjoying the nativity scene. Oh, parallels. As you know, some very conservative Christians don't buy trees, don't buy evergreens or pine trees. They set up a nativity. That's what my family has done for years. And so this guy, Duff, was a very good painter. I didn't always agree with everything that he did, but a lot of his work is of the natural worlds. And he was in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. And he was the president of the Boy Scout Association within Rio de Janeiro here, right there. So great minds think alike. Furthermore, King Lear, because once you get to the top, there's going to be threats to you from all around, right? You're going to have slings and arrows pointed at you because you stand out. And because other people don't understand exactly what you're trying to accomplish. This is Shake Hands with the Devil, Romeo Dallaire, having to do with, of course, the Rwandan genocide. This is Thailand's Boom and Bust. This is the McDonaldization of society, so franchising and so on and so forth. This actually might have inspired Tyler Hoover in his Hoovie model of his friends and his family with I don't know exactly remember where he lives, whatever. In that it takes a network of people to survive, right? You can't just do things on your own all the time. And even the people close to you, especially when you get to a position of power, because they're reliant on you for handouts and feeding, and to feed them, they put food in their bellies. They're not always going to be straightforward with you, and they're not always going to tell you the truth, because if they tell you the truth, then there might be there's the fear of reprisal, and that's just how it is. I'm not telling you to call into question the people around you, but I'm giving you a warning, especially when it comes to technical stuff like an aircraft. It either is or it isn't. There is no in between. There's no in between. Next one, of course, is the Communist Manifesto. And I made this bookmark in college. So, I am becoming a sheet metal master in my own right. I'm not quite like Toby in the UK, whose father is an aircraft mechanic, and he makes sculpture. I'm not quite like Jesse James, where I can pound stuff out of steel just yet, but I can do it. I'm absolutely confident about that. And then, of course, the next one, last but not least, is Trump's Think Like a Billionaire. And I've internalized a lot of this information in these books over the past, I don't know, 25 years or whatever it's been. And it is the constitution of my character. So I hope that's enough for you. Anyways, I won't waste any more time because, important people, not necessarily important people, but prominent and visible people. As I've said before, it's a waste of time to waste other people's time, because that's the golden rule, right? Do unto others as they do unto you. So here I go. I present myself. This is my sales pitch. I need work. I can't survive on this bullshit. I got issues with the CRA because of what my activities were and because I had to survive. So no questions there. That's not going to influence my financial situation. It will not influence my judgments or my sourcing of people that have certification and the network of people that I know and that I trust. And the Canadian system, as far as aircraft maintenance, is superior to the American one. It is superior. In the States, you can pretty much, if you can build a home-built aircraft, right, an FAA inspector comes in, stamps your book, all right, you're an aircraft mechanic. Up here, we got to go to college. We got to do an apprenticeship, right? You can call that a gold seal trade if you really want to, because it is that important. Thank you.